Hello, my name's Solon, and we're going to talk about how to wash your eyes out in an emergency. There are many ways you can get things into your eyes. And having something in your eye that's not supposed to be there, it can hurt you. So maybe it's a chemical product. Maybe your head was too close to something without eye protection and you sprayed a product out of the can and it bounced off the object you were spraying and went into your eyes. Uh, it could be a hose. You could literally be washing something off with a hose outside in your yard and the hose gets too close to something, your head's too close to something, and an object can fly backwards and hit you in the eye. There are lots of ways this can happen. For most eye issues, you can render immediate first aid to yourself with an eye wash. Now, one thing to note, if the object is piercing the eye or it's so large it might need a different method to remove it, don't use an eye wash. Those are going to require going to a hospital for professional assistance. Now, what is an eye wash? An eye wash is anything that will help you flush your eyes with water. There are professional eye washes you might find at work, and usually these have a handle or a platform you pull down, and that will cause the water to just start flowing. For prepackaged units, they have a minimum run time, usually 10 to 15 minutes of water gently flowing over your eyes. And then for the plumbed units, they'll run for as long as you hold the handle down. Now, there are lots of ways you can make an impromptu eye wash just out of what you have around. You don't need professional equipment. Uh, the handheld bottle of water, a little plastic bottle of water, a great eye wash. Now, the problem with it is if you take the cap off and you pour it onto your eye, the water's gone. You need to wash your eyes for much longer than that. So you could just put a little hole inside that bottle of water or have someone helping you put a hole in that bottle of water. And then you have a little stream of water that'll wash your eye out for a long period of time. There's actually a lot of water there. You could put your head under a sink. You could use a hose. All these things can become an eye wash. Now, you do want for things that are plumbed to control that water flow. You don't want a lot of water hitting your eye. That's going to cause its own damage. So we're just washing it out, a slow trickle of water washing your eye out. Now, here's the basics. First, you don't want to use an eye wash. Using an eye wash is horrible. I can't emphasize this enough. Um, if you have cold running water over your eye for 5, 10, 15 minutes, it's a miserable experience. So anytime you're doing anything that can cause something to fly, wear safety glasses as a habit. Um, just always have them on. If you do, nothing can accidentally get in your eye. I used to wear glasses and then I had LASIK. Um, After I got my surgery, I found out there was all this stuff hitting me in the eyes because when I wore glasses, um, all that stuff was blocked. And I never knew how much stuff was coming at my eyes when I did work. So I really, really recommend wearing safety glasses as a habit when you're doing any type of work that can throw objects or chemicals. Now, if you are going to work with chemicals, do read the safety data sheet on that chemical prior to using it. Safety data sheets are made for every chemical sold in the US. You can go online, type in safety data sheet and the name of the product you're using, and you'll get a long list of what it can do to you, what to do for first aid, how long you should wash your eyes, all that kind of thing is in the safety data sheet. Sometimes it's not on the bottle, so I recommend going online and reading the safety data sheet. Now, if you're at work, of course, they will train you on this, so listen to that class. Now, another thing, when you get something in your eyes, you blink. You can't help it. You are going to blink. Now, if a chemical is on your eye, you have just squeegeed it over your whole eye. If an object got in your eye, it may have gotten under that eyelid when you blinked, and your eyelid may have pulled it back to the back of your eye. So, an object or chemical now is not necessarily just on the front where it's easy to wash. Now, third thing to know, something gets in your eye, you are going to close your eyes. You may not be able to see, so you need to yell out for help. You need someone coming, if there's anyone around, to help you. You may not be able to see where you're going because your eyes are shut because there's something in your eyes. They may need to activate the water for you. Let's say you're at home. someone running to get the hose, turning it on to a low level so you can use it. That's going to be hard to do if both your eyes are shut. So call out for help, yell it loud. Um, Fourth thing to note, for an improvised eye wash, the water should flow gently. Again, don't put too much pressure on your eyes. That itself could hurt your eye. You're just trying to rinse the particles out. Now, fifth thing to know, this is something you don't want to do, but you need to do it if you have to wash your eyes out. You need to take your fingers and hold your eyelids wide open off of your eyeball the entire time you're washing. Because again, that chemical or that particle may no longer be at the front of your eye. You may have squeegeed it or pulled it to the back of your eye. So you need to actually wash off the whole eyeball. When I said this is miserable to do, I mean it. Wear safety glasses. Don't get into this. Um, it's truly not fun. Now, for an improvised eye wash, you have a lot of decisions to make. Now, for a plumbed eye wash, that's a normal professional level eye wash, the water is flowing to both eyes perfectly. It's aimed right where it needs to be. But for you at home, did it just get in one eye or both eyes? So if it only got in one eye, you need to tilt your head because you don't want the chemical to run to the other eye. So you'll tilt your head so the injured eye is downhill and the good eye is uphill. And you'll let the water run from your nose down through your eye down to your ear. Um, I mentioned before, if you're using a water bottle, maybe you could have someone poke a hole in that water bottle, like you're at a lake, something got in your eye. Someone can quickly poke a hole in a water bottle, and you can potentially use that as your water source. But in the real world, when you're not with a professional eye wash, you're going to have to make some decisions on how am I going to wash this out. But keep your eyes closed while you do this. Now, how long are you going to wash your eyes out? For most chemicals, they'll generally say 10 to 15 minutes as a guideline. You really need to read your SDS to know exactly how long you're supposed to wash it out. But if a manufacturer of a chemical says to wash your eyes out for 15 minutes because this chemical is damaging your eye, then you need to wash it for 15 minutes. They're not joking. This is not something they want you to do. It's something they say you have to do. Um, so as I mentioned, this isn't fun. You're going to want to stop in less than a minute. It's not going to be a good time. So when you've called out for help, also have that person time you because 5 minutes is going to seem like forever. Trying to get to 15 minutes is going to be a real stretch for most people. So have someone time you so you know how long you've been washing and if it's enough to get that chemical off your eye and to stop damaging your eyes so you can see later in life. For dust and debris, you're going to try and wash out the particle. Um, if you feel like you couldn't get it out, then it's beyond your ability to wash out. You may need to go to the hospital. Obviously, you don't want to drive yourself to the hospital. Um, so if you have that person that's timing you, you called out for help, you can also have them call 911 and have an ambulance on its way if you think that's needed. Um, if you don't think it's an emergency, which kind of is weird because something in your eye, I would think it's an emergency. Um, you could drive to an emergency room yourself, but remember, you're going to get there eventually. You'll be in line. You're not going to get immediate service. You call 911, an ambulance comes. You're getting immediate service as soon as they get there. They're treating you all the way to the hospital. And then once you get to the hospital, you're not waiting in that line to check in. You're actually getting service right after the ambulance drops you off. Now, if you have debris in your eye and can't wash it out, close both your eyes. Even if it's just in one eye, close both your eyes. Consider you putting a bandana, a towel, or something that you can wrap around someone's head around the head to keep both eyes shut. The thing is when your eyes are open, you're going to look at stuff. It's what we do. And when you look at something, your eyes actually move. So When they move, you could be moving that chemical around or an object into a much more difficult place to, to remove it. So we want to keep our eyes motionless so the debris isn't being moved under our eyelids. Another thing is how you maintain your emergency equipment. At work, something to know, keep your stuff clean. You do not want to have to go up to an eye wash that's full of dirt and debris and it sprays that out at first. Um, Also, keep it unobstructed. Your fire extinguisher, your eye wash, your emergency exits, all that kind of thing should have no debris in front of it. You should be able to literally walk up with your eyes closed because guess what? They may be, and be able to use this equipment. In conclusion, for everything you ever do, think it through. I mean this. If you think about something ahead of time, you have a better chance of doing it right. I'm going to use an air blower to blow off my deck. Maybe I should put some safety glasses on. Well, something's probably not going to fly in my eyes. Probably. Is that what you want to risk your eyes on? Think it through. An eye accident can happen with kids at an event, work, anywhere. But if you're prepared and you have this how to treat, how to wash in the back of your mind as a tool that's available when you need it, you'll be able to assist an injured person or assist yourself. That's Solon, and I'm out.